Today especially I have to speak to people who feel weak to follow Sahaja Yoga, who are fickle-minded, those who lack strength, those who are afraid of taking Sahaja Yoga seriously. It is very important that fickle-mindedness must be seen clearly, why we are fickle. Mostly it might be the ego that is stopping you from doing something that is very, very important. The fickle-mindedness comes to us by various ways. As I said, one of them is ego. A fickle-minded person can be frightened by his own ego and he may stop doing Sahaja Yoga after going up to a point, because the ego might say, now here forward if you go, there is a tunnel in which you cannot enter. You should not go any further. It's very dangerous. It could be marred by your sloth. Sloth is the curse of this country, I feel. It's the curse of the Sahaja Yoga also. I do not know if it is the curse of the Western world. But sloth is something, is like a devil that can keep you very much glued to your own positions and will not allow you to move on. For example, in the morning you get up and you think that, oh, it's all right. What's the need to get up early in the morning? There is no need to do any meditation. I'll do it tomorrow. Otherwise, you start thinking that it can be done after a month. Doesn't matter. Mataji is here. Everything will be all right. But you must know there are so many imperfections within you. And if you do not meditate now, seriously, take it up as a very serious thing, you may lag behind so much that you may be dropped out. Meditation is very important after Sahaja Yoga. You have slept and slept all your life. Sleeping is not so important. You have to today promise me that from tomorrow you all are going to get up in the morning and meditate. I was suggesting that if you take your baths in the morning would be better so that you won't have your sleeping condition. Sloth is such a devious thing that you do not see it. It explains everything. If you say, I'm sick, it will say, oh, you are so sick, you should go to the hospital. If you say, I'm tired, it will say, you are extremely tired. Why should you be so tired? It is nothing but your sloth is telling you that you are extremely tired, you better not do meditation now, you are extremely tired, you better take some rest, it's important. Sloth is worse than superego and ego. It is a kind of an inertia which pulls you down. And that inertia you have to really throw away and get out of it. Because it explains everything, you like it because it gives you little comfort, and you want to rely on your sloth. But Krishna has said in Gita that sloth is the worst thing that can happen to human beings. If they take to sloth, if they accept sloth, they will have all explanations for being slothful. Alasya, he calls it, is the worst disease, according to him, for any aspirant of spiritual life. You may think that, you see, I'm not well now, or anything. Sloth can give you any ideas, because I don't have that, so I don't know what ideas it gives you. But it can give you any kind of idea that would be very, very appealing to you, because it knows how to please your ego. Sloth is a ego satisfying thing, ego pampering stuff. And it makes you feel, oh, you are very tired. What are you tired about? You are all young people, why should you be tired? You get tired so soon. Is nothing but your Mr. Sloth telling you are tired. You'll be surprised after feeling tired, you run for 2 miles, you can run. Now, why sloth works Sahaja Yoga so adversely? Why sloth works out against Sahaja Yoga so much? The reason is because we are not yet identified with our well-being. We do not think that we have to be better, we have to improve, we have to go further. There's a big gap, we have to do it. We are not identified with our progress. Supposing if I tell you in England that if you run 2 miles every day in the morning, you will get a beauty prize. 99.9% people or women of this country would be running early in the morning. Supposing if somebody tells men that you will get Mr. Universe if you run every day 5 miles in the morning. There will be, 99.999% people may be running that. Because we are identified with that kind of a competition, which is very materialistic, which is of no value. But when you give up even that competition, you fall into another competition, is everybody is competing each other in sloth. They will get up in the morning, see around. Now, Coolie is still sleeping, all right, let me sleep. So Coolie will think he is still sleeping, let me sleep. So there is a big competition as to who is going to wake up first. Who is going to do this? And if somebody gets up, then one starts finding faults that he got up or what? He was just taking tea or he was talking. What about you? You were still in bed. At least he got up, was talking, doesn't matter. But he was kicking. What about you who was still slumbering in the bed? Now it's such a childlike thing. It's such a childish thing to talk about with such intellectuals as you are, such well-read and such well-posted people. That doesn't behove me, a mother of such great people, to talk like this. But sometimes I find my Sahajogis are like 2-year-old children. And then I have to tell them that now you are grown up. You see, you can explain it. But how are you going to explain yourself? Because if you have to grow, if you want your tree to grow, you must change your priorities and your identifications. If you have to be a first-class Sahajogi, you have to put your attention to it. I do not know how to fix it up. Supposing we fix it up like this. It's very childish, but I have to tell you because I have seen this is the problem. That the day I don't get up, I'll have to pay 10p. Let's keep it like that. If you are getting much more pay, then put it at 10 pounds. But something like that. Or you can say that day I'll give up one sweater of mine. Start it like that. It's very easy. People will say that, no, mother, when I meditate, something goes wrong with me. Means you are wrong. There's something wrong with you. So better sit down and meditate. Now, I must say, if you do not meditate, you are very selfish. That's the main point. Because when you come here, scorpions come out of me to bite my feet. There are snakes coming out of you to bite my feet. Do you want to do that to me? Or else to others also. The other day somebody came to my house and Chaya and all these people were there. He was so caught up that they were reeling with giddiness. And everybody was trying to take it out and work it out. If you want Sahaja Yoga to work out in this country and in the West, we have to understand our own value. And we must work it out every time if you are catching. Every time you meet me, you are catching. Then how are you going to feel the Kundalini? You must know how the Kundalini moves within yourself. Say where it is, how far it has gone. At least, there should be at least 10 people like that, minimum. Because I have worked here so hard. You don't know, I didn't work so many years in India. And there will be at least 80% people who can feel the Kundalini moving. It is here, it is there, it is there. And some people feel over-satisfied with their progress also. It is like a whole group of people going somewhere. Say a tug of war. Even one person moves 2 steps forward than where he is, the whole thing moves. But we do not see to the people who are moving it towards them. What we always see is, how can we compete with the person who is not moving? If he is moving back 2 steps, we can move up back 3 steps. This kind of attitude will not help us. You know that Sahaja Yoga is the only way, is the only method that divine grace has given you, by which you are going to transform the whole world. And lazy lumps, how can they help Sahaja Yoga? Laziness is the worst thing. Today, I know today is not a day to say all these things, but you all have to promise to me that you are going to give up your laziness, swaha. That's what I have seen, that whenever I meet you people, you are caught up.